Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, the T on NPD and relationships. Hello everyone, to all of my new subscribers and new family members. Hello, hi, welcome. And to my tribe and family at large, welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another video. Family, y'all know I love plugging our Thursday night live streams. Listen, y'all, this is where we go from healing to wholeness to boldness. Indeed we do. Okay, this is where we get, as I said before, to the meat of the matter, to the crux of the conversation. This is where we go deep. We have those deep conversations with the soul. And we begin to examine, what it's like and what happens in these situations of narcissistic abuse, and perhaps healing from them as well, because the healing is not overnight, fam. And you need to be in spaces where people understand, what you've been through. It's hard talking about this type of abuse with people that have never been through it. They don't understand it. They don't understand the dynamics of the trauma bond. They don't understand how we could be so messed up over one relationship. But here we get to, it's a family. We're thrivers, not survivors. We are thrivers, okay? Because surviving means you just barely make it. And baby, no, we coming out of this thing on top. So I'd love to see your face in the place, all right? Make sure you, if you're on the YouTube, and the Facebook platforms, that you turn your notification bells on, okay? So you get the information when we go live. And also, when we drop a video on the channel. The Thursday night live streams are usually around 5:30 p.m. And so set your calendars, all right? So that's 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7:30 Central and 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, all right, y'all? So please join us on our Thursday night live stream. We're building. All right, so y'all already know, y'all already know where I'm going. Where? Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that. Y'all know I'm already gonna ask y'all to do what? Hit that like button, fam. Yes, indeedy. Why? Because we need to make sure that we do our part to spread this information throughout the algorithm, y'all, and to make sure that, of course, we get the information that we need to get out there. All right. It is so important. And I want y'all to really understand something here. I want y'all to know that, listen, just because we are watching the video and everything is going good for us, y'all know what? It's not going good for everybody. So let's be cognizant of that. And let's hit that like button and make sure that the people that are out there searching for answers, that they get them, okay? So the goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes. If you rocks with your girl, y'all do what? Hit that like button. Okay, if you rocks with your girl. All right. So y'all, if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, just want to let you know I am accepting new coaching clients. So the email is pinned in the description below. All right. So y'all make sure y'all take advantage of that if you need it. All right, y'all. So guess what? Last but certainly not least, pick up your copy of the book. Okay. It's pinned in the description below. In the description below, the copy of the book, Seduced by Satan. It is pinned in the link is pinned in the description. Listen, y'all will write me back and thank me later and say, you know what? This was a good read. I had no idea that these people move like this. Yeah. I'm telling you, you will be astonished at what you read. I mean, you probably won't be surprised now, given a lot of the stuff that we've seen around here on, on social media about these narcissists, but it's definitely a page turner. I think, I'm like, every chapter was a hook. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Anyway, but family, just want to let you all know, pick up a copy for yourself and somebody else, all right? And not only that, recommend it to your book club as well. All right, family. So listen, let's jump into the topic of this video. I want to answer a question and I want to get right to it. So I was asked this question. When you go no contact, should you also block the narcissist? There's not a straightforward answer to that. One would think that there is, but I'm going to say this. When you go no contact, I'm going to explain it to you, okay? Because there are instances where you can't, but if you don't, I'm going to explain both sides of the coin. Because some people, when you go no contact, first of all, that just means that you're not you're having no conversation with the narcissist. This is not silent treatment. This means no contact. Okay. So you don't have any contact with the narcissist. And usually that means no physical contact, no contact, no non-physical, which would mean verbal, and things like that. That's what that typically means. Now, whenever you are attempting to go no contact with a narcissist, there are several things that can come into play. If you have children with them and things like that, that's going to be very difficult, especially if there's a parenting plan in place and things like that. But for this video, we're going to talk about it from the perspective of there are no children, okay? You don't live with the narcissist, or maybe you did and you moved out, and you're anticipating going no contact, or you've gone no contact, and should you actually block them? And I'm going to tell you what the narcissist, what their perspective is and how they think about this situation. Okay, so let's go. Now, when you're dealing with a narcissist and you are no contact and you're not living with them, basically the break has happened, you've been discarded or whatever, and you decide that you're going to go no contact. The narcissist is already thinking in their minds, okay, that's cool if you want to go no contact, but just at least leave the door open so I can, reach out to you if I need to. And this is why a lot of times, family, they come with that friends thing. And they say, oh, we don't have to, just because we're breaking up, it doesn't mean that we can't be friends and this and that and the other. See, that right there, that whole conversation is to keep you from blocking them. Okay, I'm gonna just be clear. Let me keep it honest. Okay, that conversation right there is to keep you from blocking them, to keep you from shutting them out and them having zero access to you. So they try to go ahead and cover the base before it gets too far down the road and they can't reach you, because they know at some point this could happen. Although they don't want it to happen, this could happen. So they're saying to you, we don't have to be like this, let's remain friends and things like that. But I already told you, you can't be friends with a viper. You see what I'm saying? So you have to make that decision as you go, as you exit the situation. But once you are no contact, you gotta realize this. And I'm saying to those of you that are asking the question, should I block them? Okay, once you go no contact, you got to understand that a narcissist, whether you're contact or no contact, is still a narcissist. Let me say that one more time. Just because you're no contact doesn't mean that the narcissist is going to change who they are. They're still going to be a narcissist. Okay, they're still going to do the same dumb stuff that they used to do. Wearing you down when you tell them no. Oh, but why? And they're on and on and on and on and on. Why? All of this kind of stuff. So then you're just like, what? What is happening? So I just want y'all to understand that because you're deciding that you don't want to have contact with them anymore, but if they still have access to you, those same annoying behaviors that you witnessed in the addictionship, the relationship with the narcissist, those annoying behaviors are not going to change. They're going to still be like that. So then, you got to think in this way. Do you really want to be no contact and heal? Or do you want to be no contact and still have to deal with the narcissist and not be able to heal even though you're away from them? Because the whole idea is to get them out of your bed and out of your head. But if they're still able to access you, they're going to come with their manipulation, with their games, their lies. You know that they're going to take zero accountability for what they have done. You know that everything under the sun is your fault. So you need to go ahead and recognize that and get with that right now, because if not, then it's no use in you even really talking to them, because guess what, at the end of the day, this is how they feel. They're not going to take accountability. So you being away from them and out of the picture, but them still being able to access you, doesn't really send a clear message to the narcissist. I'm just saying, this is how you have to look at it, because the narcissist is looking at it like this. Okay, well, you're not talking to me and you don't call me. But it's, when I get ready to call you, when I get done playing over here, at least I can do that. And I can talk to you and say this and say that. And I'm probably going to get back in the same space I was before. No, you're not. You see what I'm saying? So the no contact is meant for you to pull away and heal from them. Now, I did mention those other situations, like if you have another situation, like if you have children with them, if there's some type of court case or properties or something like that, that's different. You still may have to have some type of contact with them. But even with that, it doesn't have to be over the phone. They don't have to have unrestricted access to you. You can do an email. You can send a Dropbox, whatever kind of message, electronic message, DMs or emails or something that's trackable also, because you want to make sure that you're accountable to the court system. If this clown say something crazy, you want to have that on email or on some type of communication, so you could show your attorney and possibly the courts what this clown has been doing. But the whole point of no contact is to basically heal and to get away from the narcissist. If you're not able to do that, then it's almost like you just might as well just give them free reign, in your life. Now, the way that the narcissists think about it, that you basically blocking them, okay? The narcissist doesn't want to be blocked. Let's be clear. But if you decide to go no contact and you don't block them, the way that the narcissist sees this is that there's still hope for them. Yeah. There's still hope. And that's given the situation where there's no property or no children involved. The narcissist sees that as there's still hope for them, because you didn't totally cut off all communication. You stopped talking to them, but you didn't block them. And what I think probably should be done is you should ask yourself, and some people say, well, I don't want the narcissist thinking that they control me like that. They can make me block people on my phone. No, it's not them making you block people on your phone. It's about you getting well, and you getting strong enough to handle that. And some people may be strong enough to handle it. I just don't recommend it, because narcissists are abusers. And so if you leave their number open, you leave yourself open to have an emotional landmine dropped in your text message or your voicemail box or your direct message at any time. How many of y'all gonna testify you were good on no contact? Then that narcissist sent you a message, you got a message or something from that narcissist, and they it totally sent you in the other direction. That's what it was meant to do. Listen, fam, these people are crazy. They are, and they will do anything in the world to keep access to all of the supply that they would like to keep access to. Now, every supply they don't want to keep access. Some supply they just like, ooh, that one right there can go, and I mean today. You see what I'm saying? Because it wasn't that supply was not a good enough supply where they even want to keep them around on the roster or anything. But you, yeah, to answer this question, if you go no contact and not block them, what's the point? Because you're going no contact because you don't want to talk to them. You want to give your nervous system a break, fam. Don't sit, because every time you sit there and look at your phone, you don't need to see or sit there and be like, oh Lord, I hope this clown don't text me today. Oh, I hope they don't call me today. Y'all, that messes up your nervous system. It throws everything off. I'm talking about the stress of all of that right there. Just you sitting there anticipating getting a message from them or a phone call when you don't want to talk. So the best way to handle that is block them. That way, you know, especially if you have an iOS, if you have Apple surely not going to tell you when they call. The only time you're going to know is if you go to your blocked message and they decided to leave a message, then it'll be over there. But if not, you won't know they called. Now, Android is different because Android phones will show you if a blocked call has called you or whatever, or blocked contact. But fam, I want y'all to understand something. The purpose of no contact is for you to get well. Whenever you don't go no contact with the whenever you won't block the narcissist, as you, they see that as you actually saying, okay, I'm not going to talk to him, but I'm still going to keep him unblocked. So whenever I do get to talk to him, then it's going to be all good. No, you got to cut that thing off. You got to just basically cut them off all the way around. Don't let them have access to anything. Don't let them have access to you, your email, your DMs, all of that. Cut it all off. Because when you do, it sends a very strong message to the narcissist. Don't play with me. All right. So family, listen, I hope this helps. Y'all be real good to yourselves. All right. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. But I love you, family. Y'all take really good care of yourselves. And I will see you all on the next video. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.